Good day. I'll be expatiating on introduction to video editing. You know, before you go into the practical aspect of video editing, there's always a theory to it. There's this introduction that you have to be able to know before you go into the practical aspect. So we'll be talking on the essential video editing skills. One, attention to details. Details, every detail matters. You can't say you want a portrait video and put a landscape picture, a landscape shot. These are some details that are very important, even as little as the watermark used, as little as the text used. Very, very important. So the second point, creativity, is about generating new ideas. It's about being creative. Your mind has to think outside the box, because if you're being rigid about a particular situation, you can never get better. You can see different video editors, how creative they can be. There are people that are outside, there are people that do really well, while some people, they have been editing videos but it still seems as if they are still doing the same thing. Then concentration, you have to be focused. You have to know what you want and how you want it. You have to be focused to the details, be attentive to some little points that could make your video very important. Then storytelling. Every video has to tell a story. Very important. It makes your video better. It makes it makes the video editing easier. When you have a story before the editing, you see that it will be easier for you. It's very important. Then also, learning. We all learn every day. As a video editor, no one is perfect. No one knows everything. No one is omniscience as a video editor. You keep learning. You keep discovering new things. You have to be meek towards learning. You can learn from a beginner in video editing. We'll also be highlighting the 11 basic video editing principles. 1, you have to organize your footage. Organization really matters. You can't do anything without proper organization, proper editing. It makes your editing easier and more effective. When everything has been laid down, your footage, your shots, everything has just been planned out and kept aside, you see that your work is more effective. Now, you also have to make a plan. Secondly, you have to make a plan. You have to know what you want and how you want it and when you want it. That's how video editing works. When you come and you bring out your system, you bring out your phone to edit, and you don't have a plan to it, you see that you keep beating around the bush without achieving any goal. The third one, choose clips that show important action. It's not about picking anyhow clips. Pick clips that are showing the main point, the main goal, the objectives. You see that there will be a time you're trying to highlight important features of a television, and at the end your video is showing more of the door, more of the wall. Why would you do that? You have to be more specific. You have to choose clips that shows the important actions, the specific thing you want to show. You have to be more specific than general. Then also use establishing shots. It's almost the same thing with being specific. Make your shots more establishing. Then use match cuts. As they said, although the two clips are different, they share elements that allow you to make a visual match between them. Viewers focus on the element and not the editing, creating the illusion that the action in both clips is taking part at the same time. So now it's almost like transition. It's almost like when two clips are different, it's very, very possible to make two clips that are different merge to be one. So it's about how well you can edit, how well, so for them not to notice your errors. Then use the right transition or none. If you're that's very, very important. Transition is very important in video editing, very important. You they want to know how well you're able to move from one scene to another. It's very important. Like I said, little details matter. If you don't move from one, if you don't know how to move from one video scene to another, that means your video will not make sense at all. Then another point, export to the right format. That's very important. You should know the formats, like we have the .mp4, .webm, .flv, .wmv, and .mov. Then another thing, pay attention to pacing. In a video, there are some parts that you have to make faster, and there are some parts that you have to make slower. Sometimes when a video is faster, you're trying to show more of urgency, danger. Then there are things that show, okay, these are when it moves slowly. Pacing is very important. It creates this flexibility in your video editing. Then choose a color scheme. Very important. Like there are complementary color schemes, there are triadic complex color schemes, there are rectangular color schemes, square color scheme. This is very important. How well you combine colors, very important. These are little details that, okay, if you can combine it well, it will make your video very pleasing and aesthetic. You understand? And also, before you learn video editing, also graphics design too is very important. You need to have a good knowledge of graphics design, at least the introductory part. So this in graphics design, we'll talk about more of color schemes, how well you can combine colors. Then the next point, don't neglect sound. Very, very important. Sound is a crucial point. It makes it more pleasing to watch. It helps you pass the message. Like when you put a slower song, it can show maybe when you're mourning, when you're passing through pains, sorrow. Then when you use a faster song that has a faster beat and faster rhythm, you can show happy moments, your maybe party, you're jollying, you're enjoying. It will show that. Then stages of video editing. 1. Logging. 2. Assembly cut, rough cut, fine cut, final cut. Logging is more of the organization. Assembly cut is purely technical. You have to put everything in order, from the first video from the first shot to the last shot. You arrange them. You even arrange the duration. If you're to put a particular sound for a particular video, duration of video, you have to outline everything, arrange them in a book. Okay, yes, this is what it is. You outline them. That's when you are organized, you'll be more efficient. Then you see the rough cut. Now it's time to think of how exactly you can combine strings of shots. Now it's about combination of shots, transition, very important. Then the fine cut, you've already you now have a clear vision of what you want. You've now outlined, you have done the 3 processes, and you already know what you want. This is the result that you want. Now the final cut now is when you're now thinking of sound effects, special effects, the corrections. Now you're now implementing. So there are processes that you need to do before you now reach the last stage. Very important. So now we have good video editing apps and softwares that can aid editing of videos with your system, and also we have for phones like Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Elements, and the rest. Then the apps, we have InShot, Power Director, CapCut, KineMaster, Viva Video, Splice,